Reach for stars, everyone. I'm the one and only GalaxyWis, and as you can see, this is Bowser's Fury. However, as you can see from the title, this is a pro gamer challenge I came up with. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Bowser's Endless Fury. So, while this opening's going on, I'm gonna explain exactly how this works. So, for everyone who's played this game, you will know that Fury Bowser is on a time limit. After a certain amount of time, he will appear and then go away. And only when you have 47 cat shines does he stay around permanently. But what if I told you that this challenge tasks you with completing the entire game, and then some, with Fury Bowser non-stop antagonizing you? Impossible, you say? Needing a mod? No. I found a way. By utilizing things that the game already has. The Amiibo. So, for those of you who don't know, all the Amiibo do various things in this game. But it's the Bowser Amiibo in particular that is going to be our key to this challenge. You see, as I'm going to demonstrate after we send Fury Bowser away here with a cat shine, I'll just let this play. We're gonna talk to Bowser Jr., which I'll skip his cutscene, and from that moment on, this challenge can begin. Don't worry, I'll put the details of the challenge in the description, just in case, but I have the volume low so that you guys can hear me clearly. But yeah, I'll skip Bowser Jr.'s cutscene, and yes, I did test trying to do this before Bowser Jr., it doesn't work. You have to talk to Bowser Jr. to start this process. So we'll just do that. So, come here, Jr. Yeah. Okay, so to start this challenge, we want to tell Bowser Jr. to not help us at all. Just to make things interesting. And if I scan a Bowser Amiibo, Fury Bowser instantly spawns. So by using this, theoretically, you might realize what's going on here. We can make Fury Bowser spawn whenever we want, as much as we want, as long as we have enough Bowser Amiibos to do it. So the idea here is that you can only move when Fury Bowser is present. If he's not present, oh crud. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I dodged that. If he's not present, you can't move a muscle, is the idea here. Meaning that you have to play the entire game like this. But I hear you guys saying, like, but you can only use so many Amiibos. They'll need time to recharge after using them. And every time you collect a cat shine, you're gonna send Bowser away. Like so. In this case, I have 3 Bowser Amiibos. The Skylanders one. Sorry, you can't really see that very well. The Super Mario Brothers style one. You can see just the shadows, that's kind of cool. And Wedding Bowser from Odyssey. By using these 3, I can just make him keep coming back. However, as you might realize, that's limited. Once I use all 3, I need to wait for them to recharge, and that's gonna take way too long for them to recharge. So you might be thinking, well, that's something I clearly didn't think about, but since I'm talking about it, clearly I did. So, what's the story here? Well, what if I told you there was a way to reset the Amiibo uses? Because there is. Whoops. Give me a sec. And after I use all 3 of the Amiibos, you're gonna see for yourself what I mean by that. To prove it. As I showed, I only have 3 Bowser Amiibos. So in theory, this next one I spawn should be the last use until I die. Because as we know, when you die, Junior, when you die, all the Amiibo uses respawn. But what happens when I use the 3rd one? Well, we're gonna do Fury Shout by the shore here, just because. I know I could go to a different island, but... By the way, I had an interesting thing happen while I was doing testing here, where the Fury Shadow actually had more health for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, to be honest. He got hit by the Fury Blast. So in theory, right now, we should have to wait for a cooldown period of the Amiibos, which is gonna take way too long. Seriously, Fury Bowser spawned like twice while I was waiting for the Amiibos to recharge when I was doing some testing. So, how does this work? Simple. You reload the file. A loading screen triggers the Amiibos once more. And there's the proof. I just scanned my Skylander Bowser again, and he came back. So, with this in mind, this means that we can literally play the entire game with Fury Bowser antagonizing us through every single cat shine. Think that's not hard enough? Yeah, neither did I. So there's a little more to this challenge. Give me a sec while I use a cat bell. And don't worry, as I said before, I will put the rules to this challenge in the description for those who want to try it and didn't quite understand how I phrased it. Just give me a sec to collect this cat shine. So here is the rules of this challenge. First off, you have 9 lives. You die 9 times, this challenge is over. Sorry, better luck next time. You want to try it again, you have to restart the entire challenge. Second, because you might notice here, the Fury Bowser only starts moving when he roars, and when he goes away, he roars before going away and you have some time to do it. The roar is the trigger for when you can start and stop, as I will demonstrate here. As you saw, I only started moving when he roared. That time when I saw the screen shake from the roar. Sorry, I just realized I missed that cat shine. Shard. But you can hear and feel with the rumble when Fury Bowser is going to go away. Like now. See, you heard that roar and you can see him going away? At that point, you need to stop moving, because otherwise you're basically cheating the system. And when you spawn an amiibo, you can start moving once he roars again. Alright. And with that in mind, that makes it so you have to try a lot harder and have to deal with a lot more of Fury Bowser's crud that he'll cause. Now, just giving you a pre-warning, sometimes when you scan the amiibo like this, the game gets confused and you may not actually hear Fury Bowser spawn. If this happens, reload the game and things will be back to normal, because he actually doesn't spawn sometimes, which is weird and causes a string of strange glitches. But as you can see here, I used all those amiibos. You can reload at any time. I recommend having at least 2 Bowser amiibos, just because otherwise you may run into some problems. Now, I could go after him right now, but the next part of this challenge is that you need a specific number of cat shines before each fight. Before this first one, I am requiring you to get 15 cat shines. So you may not touch the Giga Bell until you have those 15 cat shines. Next, Bowser Jr. cannot be used, and no other amiibos other than the Bowser amiibo can be used either. Actually, I've heard the Fury blocks. There they are. So as you can see here, I'm continuing to get cat shines even though I could technically fight them. I'm doing this for a very specific reason, as I'll make clear here pretty soon. Alright, come on, Bowser. So you're not allowed to use Bowser Jr. at all. No amiibo usage. You can use reserve items. And trust me, you'll be thankful for that. But remember, you can't move a step. Not even a step unless Fury Bowser is present. In the event that you do, you must reload the file immediately. And in the event that you collect a cat shine without Fury Bowser being present, you basically fail the challenge instantly. So I'm dead serious about that. Let's see here. Oh yeah. 15 cat shines to trigger the first fight. 40 cat shines to trigger the second fight. And you'll realize that the second fight, you'll actually beat right away if you do this. As when Bowser loses half of his health, despite the fact that normally when he hits half health in his standard fights, he runs away and you have to go get some more cat shines to reactivate the Giga Bell. As it turns out, if he's below half health when you fight him, he'll actually go down right then and there without running away. So with this knowledge, that's the reason I have to have 40 cat shines for a second fight. Because for the next fight, I require 45. This will make sure that he will trigger his Max Fury. And here's the real kicker. I am requiring you guys to get a grand total of 79 shines before you finish the game. I counted, and that is the number you can claim before you get to credits. In truth, it's actually 81 shines that you can collect, but there are actually 2 cat shines that are impossible to get while Fury Bowser is here, which are 2 of the shines for the Lost Kittens. Now you might be wondering, what about the first Lost Kitten shine? If you can't get the other 2, what makes you think you can get that one? What makes me think that? This is what makes me think that. I did some testing, and in this case, I did it when Bowser roared, but that was just to see if this was even possible. But as you can see, if you have the kid and the mother close to one another when you trigger, they'll go to one another without you even touching the kitten at all. So yes, that is possible to get while Fury Bowser is present. You just have to be real clever about it. That being said, because you have to stand still when Fury Bowser is going away, this means that if you stand still in the wrong place, enemies can very potentially completely wreck you. And during testing, this happened to me multiple times. For this reason, I'll not allow you to move while that portion happens, but I will allow you to use reserve items, just to try to prevent yourself from dying if you screwed up. But remember, you can only move once Fury Bowser roars, indicating he has shown up. You must stop moving at the end of his roar when he goes away. At the very minimum, if you move for even a step after that, you have to reload the file instantly. The only way that you have it around that is if you are so close to the cat shine that you know you can get it while he's still present. Then, and only then, will I allow you to move when Fury Bowser is about to go away. As technically, you'll still hit him. And, I think that more or less covers the challenge. However, some of you might be thinking like, oh, that doesn't sound too hard. Yeah, the 9 lives thing is pretty nasty, and having to deal with max fury for that long is going to be brutal, but it's not that bad, all things considered. Oh yeah, there's one more addition to this challenge, which is that in the fights, as I'll demonstrate here, give me a hot sec. Normally this isn't supposed to be how you're going to go about this challenge, but in this case, I'm going to fire him at 6 shines, just to prove something. And show how I want you to fight Bowser specifically. You need to beat him in every fight without jumping. I did some testing and discovered that this was the most interesting way to fight him. How is this possible? I'm going to demonstrate for this first fight how to do that, so you guys know that it is indeed possible. Know that, of course, the later fights are going to be tougher than this, but this is just an example of how this works. Obviously, he'll have less health when you do it for real, but in this case, he's going to breathe fire, and we are going to retreat to a place like this. As long as there's something between you and the fire, he can't hit you. And when he goes up, you want to make sure I like to go to this bridge that he goes up high. You can only damage him when he is in his shell form for this challenge as well. When he goes into his shell is the only time that you can damage him. Again, doing that for the sake of intensity and to make things interesting. Because otherwise you could just walk right up to him and be slashing him like crazy. But as you can see from him going up here, he doesn't hit us, and we can still do damage to him. It's kind of funny seeing him be up there as well. So his first fight obviously is really easy, but you can see how this could get pretty hard pretty fast later on down the line when he has a lot of other attacks. And remember, I'm saying when he's in his shell form, period. So with that in mind, you might already be realizing that later phases have a few more opportunities to cause damage to him. But there's the proof that it is possible. As for how to do the other fights, I'll leave that to you guys to figure out how to do that. But remember, no jumping at all. No long jump, no backwards jump, nothing. Anything that makes you airborne that you instigated yourself is not allowed, period. No exceptions. So that should make things a little more interesting. But, again, I hear some of you saying like, but Galaxy Whiz, that doesn't sound too hard. Well, I said that that's a challenge. I didn't say that was the pro gamer challenge. For all you people who still think that you're good enough, get a load of this. Bowser's extremely endless fury. This pro gamer challenge has a few additional caveats to the rules. Number 1, no reserve items are allowed. Number 2, superstars are banned altogether. If you collect a superstar, you must stand in place until it runs out. Period. No exceptions. Number 3. During the Fury Bowser fights, you are not allowed to collect another Giga Bell under any circumstances. Doing so will force you to have to die. Even if it's by accident, even if you are still Giga Cat Mario when you collected it. So they are legitimately obstacles. Number 4. Touching the black goop around the Lake Lapcat at all counts as death. You must stand in place and accept your demise. No escaping it. It doesn't matter whether this was an accident or not. And that includes the Fury Bowser fights. You step into that gook and start having Mario slow down even a little bit. And you must stand in place until Fury Bowser finishes you off. And finally, last but certainly not least, when you are at an island and start collecting cat shines, you must collect all the cat shines on that island in order without making any exceptions. This means that cat shine shards you have to wait on until you have the other 3 cat shines. Additionally, while Fury Bowser can break the Fury blocks by accident, if you watch him do it, like you intentionally set him up to do it and you can see him break them, then that counts as a death. any Catshine shard that you grab too early, you have to take a hit for. Again, no exceptions. So, think you've got what it takes to be extremely Endless Fury? Feel free to give it a shot. Even film it if you want. And if you can beat it, and you end up filming the whole thing, feel free to tag it to this video. I'd love to see someone pull this off. I may even stream and attempt one of these days. But yeah, here's an epic new challenge for Bowser's Fury for all you people who feel you've mastered the game. And remember, the requirement before you beat the final Bowser is 79 Catshines. Period. No exceptions. So, with that in mind, I hope you guys all enjoy attempting this crazy challenge. And until next time, to all my viewers, subscribers, and overall fans out there, thank you so much for your continued support. And as always, may the stars shine down on you.